Hi, I'm Sarah Martin, and I'm really excited to be a part of this Quarter Life Conference video series. And today I'm going to take just a few minutes to share with you a little bit about my personal career path and just a few things that I wanted to pass along to you that I hope you'll find helpful as you journey down your own career path. Just to give you a little bit of some background on me, I spent about 7 years in the pharmaceutical industry. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep for 7 years. And prior to that, I spent about 4 years in the hospitality industry. And then before that, of course, the obligatory waitress jobs during college. But when I was a senior in college, I had the chance to interview with some pharmaceutical companies, and they told me right away that I wasn't ready. My grades were not good, and basically to get lost and go get some sales experience before I ever even approached them again. But at that time, I was just really passionate about the idea of being a salesperson, and it seemed very exciting to me. So I started along my journey of gaining experience. And so then I spent, 4 years with doing some hospitality, working in a hotel as a salesperson there. And then finally, I was ready to interview again for a pharmaceutical sales rep job. It took me 1 year, an entire year, to interview and to get a job with the drug company. That year was full of interviews with like 5 companies. I think I had 12 interviews total. I was in the position that I could wait and find the perfect job, but not everybody is in that position. So fast forward, I did 7 years in the industry. It was a wonderful job. And then the Lord moved me into another arena in my life. And now I get to be an author and, of course, a mom, which is a big job as well. But I share this part of my journey with you about where I was along the way, just a little bit of that actually, to share with you that first thing, God does not waste anything. That's kind of a mantra I use with life in general. God does not waste any experiences. Everything that happens to us that we do, relationships, friendships, jobs, if we are open to learning from those experiences, if we are open to let God work through us in those experiences, for better or for worse, God does not waste anything. So, for example, that year that I spent interviewing for one job, I learned so much about myself. I learned how to handle rejection. I learned how to be determined and to just keep pushing forward to a goal that I had determined was worthy of pursuing. And I learned so much about myself during that year of just interviewing. And later, really, God did not waste that 1 year of just interviewing, because I learned so much about presenting myself. And I later have even used that as an author, as a way of communicating who I am to my publisher, as a way of communicating who I am and what my message is to my readers. So all that to say is I encourage you to look at each step along the way as a way of learning and use those experiences as a paving of that path of your growth in general, in life in general. It's kind of like a spiritual growth process if you choose to let it be during your career path. So in addition, I just want to encourage you, each job that we have prior to our what I call dream job, whatever that may be these days, each job can lead up to experience. So nothing should be wasted along the way to your quote unquote dream job. What you feel like really God has in your future, what you're determined to hit that goal in. So, right out of college, if you're right out of college, it's often easy to think that we need to just jump the career ladder and just bust through and be a manager right away, or you want to be the boss ASAP. But really, each step along that career ladder is a means of preparing yourself to be better at what you do, to get more passionate about your talents and your gifts, and to refine those things. So that means for us, we might have to put away our pride and take a job that might not be what our dream job is. It might not be something that we always thought we would always do. But if it is a means of gaining experience, it is ever so worthy. I promise you. Even in my experience, even my waitressing jobs taught me discipline. It taught me how to put a smile on my face, even when the conditions weren't awesome. It taught me money management as far as tips, obviously. But I just encourage you to kind of reset your thought process of what your career path looks like, and that it just takes time. Now, I know the economy is tough these days. I know, and it probably is even harder to get into our dream job than it was back in the day when I was working my way down my own career path. But I just encourage you to stick with it. If that means you've got to spend some extra months waiting tables or as a nanny or whatever, working construction, just to make money while you're interviewing and getting your feet in the door, do it. And just realize that nothing is wasted. God will use, if we allow ourselves to be open to being used and grown and stretched, He will use those experiences later. The final thing I wanted to share with you is to just really encourage you to be open, whatever job you're in, to be open to getting to know those people that you work with. It's easy to check the box and just head in for the day, say hi at the obligatory water cooler, and then get back to your desk, finish the day, and go home. But really, as Christians, we have the opportunity to use those in our career, our job, whatever it is at that moment, as our sphere of influence, to share our faith, just to even live out our faith. And we might be the only Jesus that people see in that office. So that starts with really getting to know those who we work with, and to ask how they're doing. Ask how their kid is doing at home, how kindergarten is going. Find out what's going on in their lives and really speak to that and pray for them, obviously. And just see them as people that Jesus most likely wants you to minister to. He wants us to live out our faith right where we are at that moment. And that's even at the moment when we're sitting in the office, doing our job. It might not always be fun. Our jobs might not be awesome at the moment. The people we work with might not be fantastic at the moment. You might feel like they're bringing you down. Sometimes in the office setting, or when you're with a group of people that aren't necessarily of the same mindset as you are, the same beliefs, sometimes we might feel like as if they're bringing us down. It is up to us within our sphere of influence, especially in the office or especially in our career, to fill up on the things that are good, even just like the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Fill up on that. Fill up on the goodness that the Bible gives us, so that we can then pour out those gifts, that fruit on even those that we work with. And also, just along those lines, it's even more important for us than when we profess our beliefs to others, when we've lived out our faith, when we develop those relationships with those that we work with. It's so important for us to really do our best to work with integrity. So that means if you have the chance to maybe flub on your expense report, and somebody else, especially whether or not somebody sees it or not, that we make the decisions to work with integrity. Because whether they see that one moment or not, those that we work with do see how our whole work ethic adds up in general, and it makes an impact. So I hope that just these few words of wisdom, of encouragement, spur you forward along your career path wherever you might be. And I encourage you just to let God use every step of the way to His glory. Thank you so much for checking in, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye.